Well, I would like to have Jella with me because it would be of great help if something goes wrong. But if she feels like there is a better option, maybe, well, talking to the others.
Right. I'm going to have her get a roll. Well, that's the problem with the cult of the buried dead. Give them a chance to find something out. They'll stick with it instead of doing the sensible thing.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so she will join me, or?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
So, you will, of course, be a little worried that he's not going to just take you out and put a sword through you or something. But that swiftly changes when you realize that he's taking you to the tower.
Ooh. Okay.
Right. Now, meanwhile, Zort is sleeping peacefully, and you don't have to make any kind of perception roll because nothing bothers you.
Oh, how nice.
Good for you.
Sweet dreams.
And then finally, Skava, I did mention that some women were going to come and see you, and this is not a home invasion like the other situation. This is actually including the woman who is your host. And the reason for this is that they will take you to those trees in the middle of the village. And the important point is that their woodswoman representative has been killed, and then they feel as though the covenant with the woodswoman that allows them to maintain this sacred grove of trees and actually makes this whole village possible as far as they're concerned. They've spotted you and said clearly, you are, you're somebody we need. We need you to come and come to the grove and do the right with us and to try to maintain the holiness of the woodswoman here.
Yes, sure, absolutely.
So this is, now you're only going to fail this on a fumble. This is because you have been through quite a lot that's very appropriate. So this is your initiation right into the woodswoman cult.
Okay.
So, and what this means is that you actually have to, the group of you actually has to try to awaken an ancient spirit inside these trees, who is going to connect you further, with the cult. So,
okay.
So you guys can all imagine like all these women in a sacred grove of trees at night and how cool that must be.
Yes.
Sounds like witches.
Not in a bad way.
Oh,
is there a bad way? 49.
49 is good. In fact, that actually would be a very nice, successful initiation roll for you. And so so yes, this is important. They are all lay people like you are, but they have not had the experiences that you have had. And so they were not, none of them really had a good, if you will, in game terms, none of them had a very good role to become an initiator. Whereas you do. Your character's charisma instantly struck this community as soon as they saw you. That they were like, wow, this person has been around. This person, has a presence. And so this is an important event for you and for them. You may have noticed in the woodswoman cult write-up that even though she's a goddess of the wilds, you can't cultivate plants unless you have entered into harmony with her. So these people are mostly initiates of the local village god, but they're laymen of the woodswoman. and there needs to be an initiate, and they didn't have one. Now they do.
Yes, now they do.
So that's going to take a while. I mean, we're talking about a cool ritual with women in the woods at night. It's going to be a long time.
It's going to be a very long night.
Yeah, it's going to be that's not a 5-minute thing to do. So that keeps Skava busy. Now the next thing to worry about is this tower situation. I also wanted to know, Mika, there's no reason that comes to mind why your character would be, sneaking about instead of just enjoying a good night's sleep. But on the other hand, you're not an idiot, and you know that Vang had left early and unpleasantly without making too big a fuss about it. So you might be a little worried. You know that the power relations in the village are not very stable, and that different people have very different ideas. Some people actually want to go bug hunting. Some people want to explore down the river or up the river to see what's going on with the boats. Other people want to do other things, and Vang has something in mind that he wants to do. And but you don't really know much more than any of this. You're a very observant person, so you've seen all these kind of different dynamics, but you don't know the details.
Could it be that I used my spell invisibility to just follow him? Because obviously I've been here a while, but I know as much as the group does. Mm-hmm. That means that I've been really left out to dry, or as you say.
Well, you know a little bit more, as I say. I mean, for example, the dynamics of the social situation, they don't know anything about, and you know more.
Big thing.
You said, you phrased, can you use your invisibility? Let's say it differently. Are you saying that your character is casting invisibility and doing what you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Then that means you will spend 3 power.
Could I also, or is he a magical character? Because do I need to also cast Detect Blank?
That's a good question. It's more power to spend. If you want to, you can.
I believe my character would be more cautious, so probably both. Excellent. So that's
Detection Blank is 1 or 2. How much power is involved there on your sheet?
10 or 20 rounds.
No, it says before that there's a column that says power.
Oh, it's 1 to 2.
Right. So you can choose.
Yes.
So if you do 2 points of power, then it will block detection spells that are 2 or less. If you have 1 point of power, it will block 1 point detection spells.
Okay, I'll go all in then. I'll
5 points of power that you spend.
Yes.
Okay. And so you are both invisible and blanked to detection.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody else in the group just got jealous.
Let's say curious.
Mm-hmm.
I like my fights.
Yeah. But before
I like to keep my power on a reasonable level.
That's right. Well, you've been through spirit combat. You're very cautious about dropping in power. So let's give Urko. I'd like you to note down somewhere. Sandra, you can note down that in addition to mobility and whatever it is, what's the other one that you have? Binding. That you also have the spells detect gems And detect magic.
Detect the gems.
Yes, and detect magic. Those are two things that two spells your character knows. Gems is 2 points of power, and magic is 1 point of power. And that let's see, is there something else that you should? There's at least another couple of spells that you should know. This is really actually kind of a big deal. I think Jala knows mind speech, but you don't. On the other hand, these are all things that I'm going to say you either knew that you haven't been using or that you've picked up in your travels with all the people that you've met. So what I'm doing is I'm basically upgrading your characters in terms of magic. You're so weak in magic compared to RuneQuest characters at your level that it's just getting embarrassing.
Well, we managed so far.
Yeah, that's true. I'm going to say, Urko, that you also have something called Dull Blade. So when you cast it, another person's weapon becomes much weaker and useless.
Okay.
It's a defensive spell.
Weaken enemy weapon.
It's called Dull Blade.
Dull Blade, yeah.
And it is, and you will have that for 2 points.
2 points.
And so then, Skava, you probably have picked up that coordination spell yourself by now.
Oh, great.
Right. So, and then also, you also have Farsi, and I think that it's time for you to get the other big arrow spell, which is called Speed Dart. And it's just like Blade Sharp. It makes it easier to hit and you do more damage, except for arrows or missiles.
Dare I ask for anything defensive in close combat?
Absolutely. I think that, do you want to make it harder for you to be hit, or do you want to withstand more damage?
Whatever
No, you have to pick.
Happens the survival rate.
Well, it's kind of both of them, but I think that the one for you probably will be called Shimmer, and we'll put that at Shimmer 2 points, and that will make it. It will knock off their attack roll. It will make their attack roll weaker. Yeah. And finally, for Zort, I believe that you need Demoralize, which will basically make somebody scared. That's
fitting.
Mm-hmm. I thought so too. And the question is whether to give you. Oh, this is what you really need. It's called Vigor, Vigor, and that's a 4-point spell, which is incredibly expensive in power, but it is also a real lifesaver. You actually will you will make your Constitution, which is your hit points, go up by half.
Oh, right. Rounding up or down?
Oh,
good question.
What's your
Constitution?
11.
Oh, I see. You want to know if you go up by 6 or by 5. Oh,
yep.
I don't know. Let's go ahead and be generous. It'll go up to 17. So you can give yourself a lot more hit points with Vigor.
All right.
Yeah. So.
And another question. Demoralize.
Yes.
How much power for that one?
That is only a 1-point spell.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
By the way, I took 2. You got me the coordination spell and the speed dart. What's the cost for those?
Speed Dart is going to be 2. It's a spell that goes up to 4, but I'll say you can start it with 2.
Yes.
And then the coordination, I believe, was more expensive. Is that? Let me double check. I believe that might be as much as 3 points, but let me look at the list. $2 points.
2.
Right. Your dexterity will go up by 3, which is enough to improve your chance to hit, and it also drops your strike rank, which is good, so you go faster.
Mm-hmm.